Do you have to ask where are the clams in this New England clam chowder? No, because it's absolutely filled with clams in this. Here's the thing. This is a company that started back in 1950, back in Massachusetts. And it was all about a seafood company that was amazing. People were loving it. It was called Legal Seafoods. Then in 1968, they started their own restaurant. And now the restaurant was busy and very, very, loved and et cetera. But George Berkowitz was the man who started it all. Now his son, Roger, runs the company. And we're going to speak with Roger in a moment. Let me quickly say, when I say stock up and save, here's what I mean. You can either buy one 32-ounce container, which will basically give you 4 8-ounce bowls, right? Or you can get 2 of these, which would be 64 ounces, and you're going to save about $15 by doing that. So one of these containers at 32 ounces is $39.95. But if you want to be able to get both containers and get 64 ounces, you're paying $64.95 instead of almost $80, which would basically be, if you had to buy 2 of these separately, it would cost you almost $80. It's not going to do that here at QVC. This is the first day it's ever been presented in Gourmet Holiday. So this is an exciting opportunity, but I want to go right to Roger, because Roger Berkowitz, let me just say this. They have won a James Beard Award. This has been served at every presidential inauguration since the 80s, except for this year because of the pandemic. Yeah. Or maybe it was. I don't know. Roger, you have won more awards than anybody I can imagine when it comes to this New England clam chowder. How are you?
Good, Mary Beth. Nice to be here. Thanks very much for having us. Last time we were here, and we had the chowder on. It was the first time we introduced this. We got a call from the Drew Barrymore show asking us to compete in a chowder taste-off. So we did, and guess who won?
You did! You
Yes,
did!
yes, yes,
All right, Roger,
That's
congratulations.
Thank you. I think we have a leg up because we're in the fish business, and we know sort of the best ingredients.
Yeah.
And, you start off with clams. You need great, sweet little clams. You need cream. You need some great cream. You need some butter. But what's the secret of a great clam chowder? I had to channel my grandmother back because I developed this back in the 80s. We had fish chowder. Everyone wanted clam chowder. So I said, okay, how are we going to do a great clam chowder? And I thought back to my grandmother. And my grandmother, and I've worked with some pretty good chefs over the past, Julia Child, Paul Prudhomme. My grandmother was right up there. She wasn't as well known, but she was right up here. And she always focused on the stock. You need an incredible stock to get going because it's the stock that holds everything together. Sometimes you have a recipe and you taste something and you can taste, salt or pepper or garlic or something. A great food item just melds perfectly together, and it's really all in the stock. It's funny, a couple of years ago, actually, it goes back about 15 years ago, I got a call from Julia Child, and she said she had a friend of hers, a guy named Johnny Apple, who was he was a bureau chief actually of the New York Times in Washington, and he was also a great food writer, and he wanted to come by our kitchen. So I invited him to come by. He was looking. He looked. He goes, "I get it. I understand." He goes, "The secret is in the stock," and he nailed it right on the head.
And you know what, Roger? One of the things I wanted to ask you about with this stock, like you were saying, herbs and spices and the cream and all of that. Some New England clam chowders can get so thick, they're really just filled with flour. But yours doesn't seem like that.
Exactly. And what happens is if you go and you see a chowder that you can stick a spoon in and it doesn't go anywhere, it stays straight up and down, way too much flour, way too much starch, and you're not getting the full flavor of the clams. You're not getting the full flavor of the stock there. And that's what makes the difference. The Japanese have a term called unami. And it's sort of like the sixth taste sense. You find it sometimes in delicatessen or barbecue. This, when it's craveable and you keep eating it, this has unami or deliciousness to it.
It really smells amazing. I want to give you a quick update because you can get one 32-ounce container and there's 400 remaining. And that is going to be $39.95 and worth every penny. Or if you want more than that, which is what I would want at my house, get 2 of these, and instead of it being $80 for 2, it's actually $64.95, and that is almost gone in the set of 2. Remember, it's customer top rated with 5-star. All of them are 5-star reviews.
Oh my heavens! You know what? It's so funny, Roger. It's so nice to meet you. You just said Drew Barrymore and Julia Child. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, Julia Child.
I know. And Paul Prudhomme.
Exactly. Who do you have on speed dial? But apparently, they want you on speed dial because they love this legal seafoods, and I'm smelling it in. Wow, it smells amazing. I also love. You know, the texture, the viscosity. You're absolutely right. You were talking about it's not too thick, it's not too thin. It is that, you know, Three Bears, Goldilocks, just right. Yes.
And this is the other thing. He's won a James Beard Award, which is a huge award for food. And he's met James Beard because he was a teenager, right?
What else,
right, Roger?
Yes, I was a teenager, and he came by, and I met him. I introduced myself, and he said his name was Jim. So like, hi, Jim. How are you?
You like Jim. And in fact, I'm going to win your award that's named after you later on in my life.
That's right.
I really, Roger, just want to sit at your knee and hear stories.
Well, here's the best part. It's already cooked, fully cooked. All you have to do when you get it home is heat it and eat it. And you can add little bits of bacon if you want, or oyster crackers, or a little parsley if you want. I'd do the bacon. But anyway, it's just an amazing New England clam chowder. If everybody that has gone on QVC.com to this item number and written a review has given it 5 stars, which is like perfection, that says it right there. And Roger, this is so exciting to have this on QVC, especially at a stock up and save price. You know, it's
absolutely.
Like, I mean, it's like it's a $39.95 for 1 container. So if I bought 2 containers, that should be $80. But we're saving $15 by buying the 2 containers because QVC does stock up and save. Roger, this is absolutely amazing. I'm definitely, it's almost gone. It is a meal unto itself. That's right.
An appetizer, as a meal. And guess what? It's Lent. What a perfect time to stock up with a seafood dish.
Absolutely. That's right. Roger, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And stay on the line if you're going to get these. There's very few remaining in the 1 carton or the set of 2. Okay. If you want to go to QVC.com, you can read those reviews one after another.